to Kush News, the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, in Today for the Weekend special, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's look at today's news on Sunday, April 9th, 2023. We go to Morocco, where they are protesting against the high cost of living. Demonstrators were organized Saturday night in different cities of Morocco to protest against the high cost of food and the call of coalition of left-wing parties. In Casablanca, more than 50 people demonstrated that they were fed up against the high cost of living. One protester said, "I can't take it anymore. Life has become painful because of the cost of prices that have increased." He said, another one stated that, "I feel that I have no future here." The executive board of the Democratic Confederation of Labor had said that we denounce the policy of the government, which has promised to be a government of the social state, but it turns out to be one of social disparities. Abdel Kader Ami. Groups of demonstrators also gathered in Rabat, Tangier, and Marrakech. Some had stated that the price hike is a disgrace and our country is agricultural, but vegetables are expensive. The protests come amid a surge in inflation that has put the government under fire from trade unions. This inflation is also brought by the sharp rise in food prices, plus 18.2% since in the middle of the holy month of Ramadan, which most of the country observes, and also during which the level of consumption usually increases. During the first quarter of 2023, growth in Morocco grew to 3% compared to 0.3% in the same period of last year. At the same time, the Central Bank of Morocco raised its key rate by 50 points to 3% on March 21st in order to curb the rise of prices affecting low-income households. Those in Morocco, let us know on how you guys are doing, how you're dealing with this, and if you see an end coming too. Let's keep it in Africa and go over to Rwanda. The outgoing Rwandan High Commissioner, Stanislas Kamanzi, had said that the completion of the 2023 elections in Nigeria were successful, and it's an affirmation that African nations can handle their own destiny in a very peaceful way. He added that he is happy for Nigeria. The High Commissioner called on the president in the State House of Abuja on the occasion of the completion of his diplomatic mission and said that he was happy for Nigeria for the way that they handled elections, and at the same time congratulating current President Muhammadu Buhari being at the helm of that. According to the statement by the presidential spokesperson, Gabra Shehu, he said that he was going back to his country with a high sense of fulfillment after his 8-year tenure. President Buhari congratulated the outgoing diplomat on his very successful tour of duty and spoke about a range of issues and the substantial progress made in the Nigeria-Rwanda relationship over the past 8 years. The president and the High Commissioner discussed bilateral accomplishments in the era of aviation, with the Rwandan airline operating 8 weekly flights to Lagos and 5 to Abuja, and the progress towards a Nigeria-Rwanda Joint Commission, which has been signed and soon to be inaugurated. President Buhari noted that the uncommon coincidence of the High Commissioner and himself coming in 8 years ago and leaving about the same time. The Rwandan diplomat thanked the Nigerian government officials for creating a true spirit of mutual cooperation without any artificial barriers that enabled him to make a success of his tour of duty in Nigeria. Those in Nigeria, those in Rwanda, let us know how you guys feel, and congratulations to continuing to have an intra-Africa relationship. Let's go over to the Caribbean, and specifically Barbados. The African Export-Import Bank Board of Directors has approved the opening of its bank's CARICOM Caribbean office to be established in Barbados. The Afreximbank Bank CARICOM office will support the implementation of the partnership agreement entered into and between the afreximbank and CARICOM member states, aimed at expanding Africa and Caribbean trade and investment relations. 10 out of the 15 CARICOM member states have signed the agreement, which confers upon the signatories a status akin to those held by the Africa participating states. It consolidates the bank's efforts to promote and develop global South by global South trade, specifically trade between Africa and the Caribbean, in line with the diaspora strategy and the Africa Union's designation of the African diaspora as Africa's sixth region. Following the establishment of the partnership agreement, $1.5 billion in credit limit was approved by the board of directors. The establishment of the office in Barbados is critical to facilitating operations of the bank in the Caribbean community. It will bring the bank's products and initiatives closer to the business community and ensure that the bank rapidly ramps up its operations to promote stronger relations with governments in the region towards the pursuit of mutually identified properties. Those in Barbados, congratulations. You guys are getting a bank. Let us know. And also let Kush News know if we can make a stop over and maybe do some in-depth coverage stories, huh? Why not? Let's stay in the Caribbean and let's stay in Barbados, coincidentally. 3 years ago, the COVID-19 pandemic first breached the shores of the Caribbean, causing more severe economic and social dislocation and putting strain on healthcare systems. As the region continues with recovery, the Caribbean Development Bank has committed $29.8 million to strengthen healthcare systems in Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and also Barbados. At a meeting on Thursday, back on March 30th, the Bank of Board of Directors ratified the approval of 3 loans in the sums of $9.9 million, $9.8 million, and $10 million to the governments of those countries listed. The funding is allocated from the resources provided by a coalition of banks. And the bank's Vice President of Operations, Isaac Solomon, said that the COVID-19 pandemic had revealed cracks in the healthcare system, making the investment timely. He added, accordingly, there is an urgent need for upgrading to strategic positioning of our countries to be able to respond to present and emerging challenges. We are therefore pleased to be able to provide these resources to help strengthen alliance. Building up the skills of healthcare workers is also a priority, with the specific focus on filling skill gaps. Specialized training will be provided for operating nurses, radiology staff, lab technicians, and risk communication between staff and others. Other funding will go towards engaging additional healthcare staff in key areas. Those in the Caribbean areas, also congratulations, you guys. Got some funding coming to the healthcare system. Let us know how you feel. Drop a comment below. Let's stay in the Caribbean and end there with news in Antigua. Antigua and Barbuda has deployed armed forces to St. Lucia as the island battles against its recent crime wave. The Antigua and Barbuda Defense Force sent an 8-member contingent today. The Defense Force said in a release that the deployment is strictly focused on providing support to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force in response to the recent upsurge in violence. The 8-member team traveled on an aircraft called the Alpha 1, while a 7-member team will deploy from the Royal Police Force of Antigua and Barbuda via the RSS Air Wing. This is the second RSS deployment, rotating the first deployment contingent, and it is anticipated to last a total of about 3 weeks. Those in St. Lucia and those in Antigua and Barbuda. Yeah, I think I got it right? Let us know how you feel. Drop a comment below. We end today's newscast of the weekend special with the African proverb of the day. And it comes to us from Yoruba. Yoruba from Niger, Yoruba from Benin, and I know that there's Yoruba in other West African countries. And it reads, when your neighbor's horse falls into a pit, you should not rejoice at it, for your own child may fall into it too. Once again, when your neighbor's horse falls into a pit, you should not rejoice at it, for your own child may fall into it too. Yoruba proverb. Wow. I got my horses in the back. Horse stock is attached. All right. Let me know your interpretations of today's African proverb of the day, as well as our weekend special top stories, views, comments, questions, and concerns. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be made aware each and every day that we release an episode. For Kush News on Kush Combos TV, I'm your anchor, Ochanda. We'll see you soon.